welcome to my show. I'll be doing some readings, hanging out, chit chat, maybe talking about what's going on. Somebody's here. Hi. Like, wow. Are you guys waiting for me? What the heck? I'm so glad you guys are here. That's awesome. Oh my gosh. I love it. Oh, jeez. I love you guys. Oh, wow. So, I got my hand did waiting for me. It's like, the sun is going to come out. I don't take myself seriously. Not all the time. Okay, I got my pendulum out. Let's do something experimental. Like, I kept pulling my own darn cards today. Yeah, you can post a question. But I was gonna do yes no questions, and then we could go into like card pulls. Vanderbilt, I'm just gonna star you. I'm just gonna star you too, Jackie, because I know you got a question. Like, what's up this week? So if you got a yes no question, hey, let's tackle those first. Like, sometimes it's just Okay, is the Capricorn next door mad at me right now? I'm getting no. I'm getting a no. Are my eyes blue? My eyes are not blue, so no. I'm not mad at you right now. Oh man. I kept getting a spiritual teacher card. Oh my god. It's like, yes, I've had a light bulb moment this week. It's like, dang. Sometimes you don't think like you're making progress on your spiritual path or in life. And like sometimes like just what you're doing is takes you to where you need to be. And it's like oh, you get inspiration or the light bulb goes on and it's like, oh, but then you like go off on like some other tangent. It's like, no, we got to come back here, remember? That's been me all day today. Oh man. Okay, thank you for defining that, Jackie. I really appreciate that. Will Gene W find a house or apartment in May? Yes. Will it be a house? Will it be an apartment? It's going to be an apartment in May. Okay. Yes, no. And by the way, this is for entertainment purposes only. Yes, no. Is the end of this month the best time for Jackie B to buy a luxury item for herself? Yes. I could ask more questions for that. Like, let's just play. Like, I'm ready to like practice it. Yeah, only for entertainment purposes only. So I'm just like really excited about what's coming. I knew this was coming for a long time. I've known it for like 10 years. I knew what my path was. I didn't know exactly what it is. Like, it took time. I had to go get all this ingredients and have all these experiences so I could just like, it's still not like it's not put together. Packaging is not like, the program's not put together. Like, I have to sort it and arrange it. It's gonna take a while, but I'm super excited about this stuff. So it's stuff I practiced as a healer and as on my own journey. Will Jackie be able to practice being a pet whisperer this summer? Will Jackie be able to practice being a pet whisperer right this minute? Oh, hell yeah. I got a pet. Sunny House is a pay starting to fall for a pay. There's a pay. Wait. Scratch that, reverse that. Is a pay starting to fall for Sunny House? I'm getting a no. Have they already fallen? Oh, they already fallen for you. Aha. See, I did a lot of this kind of stuff like on my little path. So it's part of the path. So I'm sending my pet to you, Jackie B. Oh, no, can you pick up my bubs? Oh, my bubby. He's a character. Oh my God. I bet he's a spirit guide. You're welcome. You are welcome. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Did she get like a cat or is this like a spirit cat? Oh my God. Like, is it a. Hey, I want to try it too. I want to try it too. Oh my God. I had a lot of fun. Like, I'm doing like mediumship stuff. Gene W. Did he get like, um, I feel like he had a male person that had this dog, Gene W. And it they would lock him up in like it seems like a shed. Um, and it didn't matter like when they went to work or whenever they went somewhere, that's where the dog would go. But it was dark in there. It was scary. There was stuff that would fall. Uh, Hi, Iron. That's what I'm getting. Like stuff would fall, and I'm getting there was rodents in there, and the dog would get bitten. And of course, this dog was it was a cat. I'm getting a dog. Somebody's got a dog that is like this. Yeah, the dog, like or the cat or whatever, is like hit. It was abused. So I'm doing yes no questions. If you have a yes no question, um, like, are we doing pet readings? I'm like off. Like I'm like, yeah, this animal, whatever this animal was, it was like getting like in the shed, and things would fall on it, and it wasn't like the best idea. It's not good. I know my Bubs was abused before he came to me. Um, yeah, he was sketchy. He was only 9 months old when I got him. I was like the fourth owner. It's sad, but he had a good life. He had a good life. Okay. I'm doing yes no questions. If you have a yes no question, you can put it in the chat. And then you can also put hi, Sweetney. Sweetney. Is Merlin in love with R? Yes. Sweetney. Yes. Yeah. He was this is clear quartz. I don't know exactly. I think I got these at Mount Shasta. I like I went to the clearance rack and I'm just like, what can I get here? Like these are like I don't know, $2 or $3. I'm just like, I'm gonna take that. That was a while ago. A really cool crystal shop up in Mount Shasta. I've had a few. I got another. Like I made this one. This was a necklace. Like I really can't wear necklaces because I've got so many skin tags. So this tiger's eye. So does everybody know how to use a pendulum? Nice, Jackie. Does everybody know how to use a pendulum? How to set it? How to test it? Assuming everybody here does. Okay, let's go to the list. All right, camp is on terrain made of white quartz and pink granite. It's not the best vibe. It's got the best vibes. Nice, Jackie. Nice. Okay, I'm going to go to these questions up here. What is Gene W need to hear? Such a weird name. I'm really feeling drawn to these cards. The Saints and Angels cards. What does Gene W need to hear today? Yeah, like there's different ways to like do pendulums. Ooh, nice heavy one. Any recommendations, dear, for crystal that are relaxing or to clear the mind? I like selenite. Selenite's one of my favorites. I really got away from my crystals, but anybody else have any recommendations for Sweetney about crystals, relaxing crystals to clear the mind? Probably some quartz, clear quartz, tourmaline, probably too. Okay, what does Jean W need to hear? What does she need to hear right now? What does she need to hear right now? Yeah. So I'm feeling like you're really feeling Gene W, you're really feeling like this collective vibe, and you're going through what the collective's going through, which is transformation. And like people that are feeling this are really feeling it up and down emotionally, extra tired, maybe a bit irritable. So I'm kind of getting that's what you're going through right now. I feel it. So yeah, that's exactly what I was feeling. That's crazy. Not so crazy. Okay, I'm getting Gene W is what you're going through. Like, you just have to understand you're right where you're supposed to be. You're 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 kind of being impatient. You're like getting restless and you want things to move forward real quick. But what's happening right now in the present moment is you're doing some healing. Okay. And this is emotional healing. Okay. There's some emotions that are coming up. These are old things um, that are coming up to be healed, to be removed. So it's a good thing because this is turning a new leaf. So once you rid yourself of that, you can move on without that baggage. Okay. That's exactly what I felt as I was pulling cards. And then this card came up, emotions. So let those emotions flow. I'm going through the same crap. I'm just like, I'm just going to feel my feelings. I'm just going to feel my feelings and let them go. Okay. Because, like, I was never allowed to feel those feelings before. So I have to process them. And that's kind of what I feel is like going on with you. And a lot of the collective is going through this. It, and you need to have faith. Okay. So there's people on the other side. There's people on the other side, and they're wanting you to know that they're supporting you, and that they're telling you you need to have faith. You need to trust the process. Things are going to work out better than you think they will. Okay. Um, that's what you need to know right now. So kind of like focus on like releasing these things. Like I'm like at the point where I'm just like um because I what I've been through is like I'm getting my journal out and I'm just like letting it all out, like anger, like what I'm feeling, trying to like just like get it out. Um um Hi Reza. Yeah, we tend to go through multiple spiritual awakenings. It's not just a one-time thing. It's like, yeah, I used to do kickboxing. I can't. Like hurt. But I used to have like a freestanding bag and the mitts and all of that. And like, oh my God. Um, so that's what's going on. This is like, have faith, like everything's gonna work out. Those things that you want, like the move and everything's gonna happen. It's like we have to go through and process this garbage and get rid of it, and so that we can vibrate at a higher rate. So that's really what's going on. Like there's like so much coming up for people right now. It's pretty intense. Like, like oh, that's what I was gonna say. It's like I just like did a bunch of talking yesterday, and I just had to cry. It's like and cry, and I'm like, oh my God, I feel better. Right, Jackie? Oh my God. I can't do it no more. Like my bursitis is acting up, Bernice. Hi, Rosie. Okay, who's up next? Jackie, did you have a question? Did I have to get your question? Jackie, anybody else have a question? I'm doing. Hey, did I miss somebody's question? Oh my gosh. General reading. Okay. What does Jackie need? I'm getting called to do double duck. Double duck. We need some from here. We need some from there. What does Spirit want Jackie to know? Okay. I'm getting some light. There's a transformation happening with the people around you, and you're like, what? Hey, that's what this is saying, okay? Okay, that's what this is saying. Okay. The miracles do happen. Like, okay. Jean, I just read for you. Yeah, there's something going on where, like, attitudes, like, there's people that you were having to, like, butt heads with and, like, go, not this crap again, right? And, like, they're not doing this. They're not doing this, like these people are starting to back off Jackie B. That's what I'm like getting. Is like these people are starting to back off. Okay. Um I feel like they were putting pressure, a lot of pressure on you. Um like to the point where you were being controlled and manipulated and I don't know, something happened. It's like, nah. Hi, Bora Bora. Rang. Rang. Okay. Retreat. So I feel like you're getting like they're retreating and you get a reprieve from this crap. And it's like it's almost like what what took it so, like why did this take so long? It finally happened and it feels good. It feels good. Sweetness. Sweetness. And it's just like you can relax now. You can breathe easier. Okay. And then I don't know, love life. The basis of your question involves your romantic life, which is now changing for the better. Um, I have no comment on that. I have no comment. I don't know what's going on there. Yes, exactly, Jackie B. And it's like you're breathless because I feel it. It's just like constantly like it's like no, no. That's what it no. So connect with nature. Connect with nature. Enjoy your time in your morning walks in the cool weather. Um, yeah, I feel like it's in the cool weather time. That's where you connect with. Yeah, no, it's a complete sentence. Yeah, I like. Yeah, it it take for a people pleaser. It takes a lot of like using that word. You didn't miss your turn, Reza. I'm pretty. Did I answer your question? I think I did. Like really early on. I don't think I got your question, Reza. Sorry, I don't think I got your question. Jackie, that's what I have for you. um, okay, maybe we'll do another round of like yes, no questions because now you're like going, I should have asked this. Have you gone through a spiritual awakening? I feel the answer is yes, but let's ask the pendulum. Has Reza gone through a spiritual awakening just recently? Yes, you have. Is there more coming for Reza? Yeah, there more spiritual awakening coming for Reza? Yes, you've got more coming, Reza. It's never over. It's just like what's next? It's like the next step. So that's where you're going, Reza. Um, okay, I got my pendulum out. So what we're doing is yes, no questions with the pendulum, and then if you have a and please put yes, no in the front of that question, like Miss Jackie B did. And if once we're done with that, you can ask a question that I will go more in depth with. If this is your first time here, please subscribe so you get those notifications to come back and hang out and play. You are welcome. Hey, does this really work? I wonder if it'll work from here. I support. I wonder if that works. It didn't work on my side. Oh no, it did. It worked. Thank you, Jackie B. Hit that like button. Leave comments later on. I need to catch my breath. I'm like running around here going. I just need to sit and like figure out what's my next move. In general, not just right now. Is that where everybody is? Like, what's my next move? Like, everybody's like, that action. We're doing action stuff because it's the year of the horse. So, of course. So, if anybody's interested, I am doing psychic practices, channeling, mediumship, different types of channeling. It's all channeling to me. It's exercising your psychic abilities and growing them. Um, so I'm offering that for, and this is being done as a group at a reduced price, which is $15, and it's 2 hours. So we practice with one another. And obviously, in the process, you're getting readings from the other people and you're learning how to exercise your channels. So that's a place where we can practice pet communications, mediumship, that sort of thing. So I have those on my website under events. I have one coming up on May 8th, which is Friday, from 4 to 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I also have one on the 17th, which is a Sunday from 1 to 3. And then later in the month on a Saturday, the 23rd, from 11 to 1. So if anybody's interested in that, you can reach out to me if you have questions. Again, it's on my website. What else do I have coming up? I got a show with Jackie B at the end of the month on the 25th. I'm trying to collab with somebody over in Australia. I have some connections over in Australia. So anyone here? Did everyone leave? Keep talking. So that I just hi Brandon. Brandon would like to know is GS is GS Brandon's soulmate? Is GS Brandon's soulmate? Is GS Brandon's soulmate? Yes. Is GS one of many of Brandon's soulmates? Yes. So you have multiple soulmates. They don't always have to be romantic partners. Sometimes they are. And our soulmates are here to teach us lessons or help us learn lessons, rather. Thank you, Jackie B. Appreciate it. Okay. Anybody else with a yes no question? Pop it in though. I'm gonna start asking my own questions. Okay, I'm really interested in what Heather has going on her show right now. You're welcome, Brandon. Thank you. Is there? She's making an announcement over there. Right. She started 3 minutes ago. Or I got the thing 3 minutes ago. Let me see. Tell me. Go find out. Come back. Tell me. Oh man. So I do have a lot to teach. I have a lot to teach. I just had it. I got reacquainted with what I need to teach. So I've always known that whatever I've had to heal from and the way I've had to do it, the way I've like probably contributed to like dragging my butt through it, is what I need to teach people. Okay. Let's see. Should Iron move to the apartment that she's been offered? Should Iron move to the apartment that she's been offered? I'm getting a yes. Let's ask more for more information. We ask for more information about surrounding this apartment that Iron has been offered. Do you, Iron, are you still here? Do you know, or do you go somewhere where they play music? Do you go somewhere where they play like live music. I don't know if it's a bar or a place like that. Okay, so there's something coming up in these cards and what I'm picking up. Is there a play? There's not. Is there? Do you know somebody? Do you know a musician that plays music? Do you know somebody that plays live music somewhere? Okay. Not in a lot of years. Um, I'm getting this person. I feel like they might be an acquaintance to you. Okay. That has the ability to possibly take your dog, because I knew about the dog situation with you. This person, I don't know, you might go, oh yeah, this person. I feel like it's acquaintance or somebody you knew like a long time ago. It's like not real close kind of relationship. Um, or in passing by, you you had been to this place and knew this person in passing. So I'm getting like they there's generosity, okay? And this child, which is representing your dog, right? It's your baby. Um, look, even the look, even this baby's like it's music, okay? So isn't that the wildest thing? This person, this person is like will be able to take like your dog in. That's what I'm getting. Like iron, like there's a person that's willing like to take on like even buying the dog food and like taking care of the dog, but um that will like share the responsibility with you like it's like a shared dog sort of thing. That's kind of what I'm getting, like, because I feel like you do need some stability with this apartment, but this person would like, and even if it's temporary, because this will help you to like recalibrate in a sense, and the dog won't go there forever, you know? Yeah. Like, you need time to like recalibrate yourself. Um, yeah, because um, it's a possibility. Like, yeah, you're being watched out for. So people are people on the other side and around you are praying for you and helping you. And yeah, you just need to like go with what you feel. Yeah, I'm like what I'm seeing is like there's people like playing music and it's like I don't know if it's a bar. It feels like a bar, but it's like the doors open, it's dark out, and inside there's like music being played. And somehow, like this person that's like here, and like uh, stranger things have happened. I don't know. That's what I'm seeing though, and this person is like, yeah, I'll take the dog. Yeah, yeah, like, I don't know. Let me know if that happens. um, this person's like super cool too. Like, yeah. Well, this person feels male, so maybe she knows somebody. The person that's taking the dog feels male to me. Okay, so let's move on to the next person. Okay, just finished listening. Thank you. You're welcome, Gene W. Okay. I still have my pendulum out. Like, is Iron gonna find this person to help her with the dog so she can take his apartment? Yeah. It could be. Could be. If she doesn't, she might know somebody. So I wish you luck. It's like, well, put it, because I feel like you need like some place where you can just like feel safe, settle in, not have to rush and move, and like doing what you've been doing for the last couple of years. And it's like you're making me hurt. Okay. Anybody here? I've got my pendulum out. I got my cards out. Not doing political, medical, legal. I am doing some mediumship, possibly. Maybe I should start doing like different stuff like that. Yeah, I hope so too. I think this will be like, it'll be like, it feels like a good situation to me. Like, meant to be. Okay. Okay, I'm doing readings. I am a psychic medium. If you like a reading, of course not. I'm only 17. Irene, I'm only 17. My body's saying, no, you're not. The hell you are. The hell you are 17. No. Body's like, nah. Wrong. No. Oh, man. If you got any questions, I'll be happy to like try to answer them. Yeah, I'm just like, I've been like reflecting on like my journey over the last few years here, like um, and all the wonderful modalities out there uh, doing healing work. Like, you know, I see tarot differently now. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You're gonna have to like you're gonna have to get a lock. Oh my god. It's like, no. You need like water spray. No. 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 Man. I'm gonna do that. Like, yeah, sage smudge spray. It's like the power of Reiki repels. power of Reiki repels you. That's what I would do. I'd be like, oh hell no, we ain't playing this. No, like just move on. like, like you see it, like that creepy dude, like somebody just doesn't look right. It's like don't even look at me. No, don't even look at me. He man, she right. I don't know. Oh my god. Oh, okay. It's like and I do this thing. It's like telepathy. It's like don't make me use my telepathy. Like you are gonna give me that pen so I can sign this paper. like, whatever it is. Like, no, don't you dare take that grocery basket move in front of me, you psycho. Okay. What's coming to Harshita? Harshita. What is coming? I feel like I need these cards. We need some. We need some. We need some. We need some saints and angels up in here. Oh my gosh. Not today, Satan. Oh my god. For the honor of Gray Skull for the honor of Sage Smudge. What is that? You guys seen Galaxy Quest? I could not for the life of me. Like by Gray Skull's hammer. like Rick Alan Rickman's like line. I would have to remember that. Oh my gosh. Okay, what is coming for his Harshita? Okay, we got this. Like, how is it possible that we get two of these? I shuffled the cards. Okay. Excuse me. That was not a full on. Okay, that tea I got is like, is it called lemon jamun ginger or something? Okay. Should be left in the 80s. Like, I don't remember that. Okay, what's coming for Harshid? Okay. I feel like there was like something you feel defeated over Harshita. So I feel like what you need to do right here now is you need to play some music. You need to play some music and overcome the stress that you've had over the situation. And you need to heal from what just happened so that you can rebuild your self-confidence from the situation, because your self-confidence took a little bit of a hit. So it's time to kind of just like chill out and focus on yourself and how you feel and how you're going to move forward. So I hope that helps you. Mixtopia. So that's for about Harshita. Yeah, so that's what's going on here. This is what's going on. So it's about, this is like when you're with, well, Harshita, get that job. Well, Harshita, get the the one job that they were interviewed for? It looks like yes. It looks like yes, but it feels like you've had a hard time through this process. I hope that helps you, Mixtopia. Okay. Is there anybody here that hasn't gotten a reading that wants a reading? Like, I don't even care if you had one already. If you want another one, Masters of the Universe, maybe. Like, that was not my thing. I think. Okay. Beautiful. Thank you. Um, I think you might be a little bit younger than me, Jackie B. Like, um, maybe. I was in junior high in the 80s. Um, that was not one of my shows. He-Man, I watched it, but it was not one of my shows. I liked Hung Kung Fooey. I was really down with Hung Kung Fooey and Laugh Olympics and Scooby Doo. Definitely Scooby Doo. If it wasn't for Scooby Doo, I don't think half of us would be like reading cards and stuff or like playing around with things in the dark. Like that no bump. Okay. So is anybody like interested in learning like remote viewing? That's something we can play with like in that psychic class or psychic practice. Has building your psychic muscles is a lot of practicing. There's one person in here. Hello, hello. Young Blood Live. Nope. 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 Okay, Heather's live. I'm just gonna hang out, man. Weird. Oh, air, air. I am doing some readings. I have my pendulum and my cards. If you're interested in a reading. How you doing tonight? Man, I got a lot of crunchy stuff going on with my neck. That's how I know I'm not 17 anymore. Hello, Facebook and YouTube. Shall I do a collective reading? I feel like this reading is more for me than collective. Yeah, it's flowing that way. It's really feeling that way. The more cards I pull. Okay. Springtime, your desires fully manifest as the flowers begin to bloom. So, what you've been manifesting, I know I've been manifesting things, working on things to bring them, to, complete my goals. And then there's a birthday coming. I got 2 birthdays this month that are coming up. A significant birthday holds the answer to your question. So, I think this is going to be some sort of uh, like completion of a cycle, not which is what a birthday represents. It's a completion of a cycle around the sun. So, um, but something more than that, something that's been long lasting. It's emotional healing. That's what it is. So whatever's like coming up, because you're manifesting something new, you got to get rid of the old emotional baggage that we've been lugging around. um, as your heart heals of old emotional pain, you receive new blessings and love. See the heart chakra there, the green. Lighten up. Vegetarian. A new way of eating gives you more energy, greater health, clarity, and stronger manifesting abilities. So, I know this to be true. I'm pretty much a plant based eater anymore. I'll take that back. I occasionally have some chicken. So, this is like really ringing true. Pregnancy, the birth of a child brings great blessings to you and the world. This doesn't have to necessarily be a child. This could be your creations, your manifestations that you are bringing to the world. Um, so that is the collective. There's a lot going on. This is very uh, this vibration of this reading here is very much what's going on with collective energy right now. So I hope that helps somebody. Ah, iron. Thanks for being around. Like, if you got questions, be sure to just like type those in there. Appreciate you hanging out. Um, play with this. I should get my dowsing rods out. I should switch things up as when I'm posting my future shows. I believe that's what I'm going to do here. Um, do practice pet stuff. It's I have fun doing paranormal investigations. I love doing paranormal investigations. I haven't done one in so long. There was Hi Victor, how are you? Thanks for coming in. If you'd like a reading, just type it in there. Hi Leslie. Uh what I'm getting from that, Leslie, is he has his own demons to fight. He does like you. He does love you. He has his own issues to deal with that he's not dealing with. And um, if and when he does deal with those, that's when the healing with you will take place after he's, you know, take made the decision to change his life, which he's not. Um, so I'll pull some cards on that, Leslie. I think he's manipulating you, and you're telling him no because of the cards I'm pulling here. Um, do you have animals around you, Leslie? Okay, this is saying, Leslie, speak your truth. Okay, speak your truth. Like, I feel like this is about like setting boundaries. He's like, the son of yours is not following. Yeah, okay. You've set boundaries, and they're reasonable boundaries with this son of yours, okay? And they're getting don't compromise, okay? You got don't compromise. And how you know that you need to just stop for a minute is your animals, your cats, okay? Your cats start acting weird when you're upset. Yeah, exactly. And he's not going to like you because you tell him no. He's not getting what he wants. He's going to be mad. You have to accept that he's going to be mad because you tell him no. Don't compromise. Don't give him that money. Um, yeah, they comfort you, but when you get upset, they start like when you get agitated, you can watch them. They start acting like different, right? So that's when you know you're like, okay, I'm doing the right thing. I'm upset, but I can get through this, and my cats are there to help me through this. Okay, like you need to be like hold to what you've um, set forth with this child, because it's not easy telling people no, especially those ones that you love. Like you want them to love you back. So um, this is rough. But watch your animals because they're gonna help you through this. Like, because I feel like when something happens, you kind of like you get very agitated, like, and it's like you have a lot of energy, like anger. You get very excited and nervous and anxious, and you walk around, and the cats don't. They're like, she's not gonna like calm down, like, and they're kind of like scattered too. So they kind of reflect you. So watch them so you know what's going on, so you can calm yourself down because that's kind of like what you need to do in the circumstance. Like you need to like go, I'm doing this because I'm taking care of myself. Yeah, exactly. I get it. I'm like, I feel that energy. So this is just like being reminded you need to like chill out. Like when this happens, the cats start moving around, you start moving around. It's time to like reel it in and do some deep breathing and like bring it down a notch. So that's what I have for you, Leslie. I hope that helps you. It's like I could, like I did a reading, like, like he's he's not ready right now. He's not ready. You're welcome, Leslie. Yeah, you got people looking over you. If there's anybody here that would like a pendulum, yes, no, I'll be happy to do that. Or if you got some other sort of question, I can use my cards, my intuition. So, yeah. Did Leslie's son have anything to do with a stolen backpack in his high school days? I'm getting a yes. That's what my pendulum's saying. Yes. Did he have? Was he involved in it? Was he actually directly in? I'm getting like a strong yes. He was involved in it. He didn't just. Did he just know about it? No, he was directly involved with it. It wasn't that he just knew something of it or about it. Um, yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Um, uh, I didn't see your question. Um, I didn't see your question, Iron. I, okay, hold on. I do. I have it right here. Who's got a call? Are you guys expecting snow up there again? Like soon? Um, Iron, is there snow expected? Like a storm coming in? Should Iron use that campsite opening that she just got notified about? I'm getting like that's not a good idea because I feel like it's some sort of yeah. I don't know. I'm seeing gray skies and it's very cold. Very cold. Um, but I'm what's odd is I'm not seeing rain or snow. It's just really cold. It's really cold. Should she go? Should Iron go? So do some research. Check the weather. Right? Check check as I feel like it's going to be super cold and I feel like you're fighting like there's something going on with your lungs and I don't think this is like the best thing for your lungs right now. I don't know what the nose too. I feel like there's something going on with your lungs, Iron. Like um this would not be good for your health. There's something going on. Okay. This, should she go? Should she go? Should she go? Should Iron go on this trip? I don't know, man. Like, that's crazy. Okay, it says, let go. As you surrender the need to control, your relaxed energy rapidly attracts your desires. Okay, and then this is crazy. The answers to your prayers and affirmations are fully recognized in the winter months. It is not winter. It's like, look at it. It's freaking cold. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, look at that. Iron Fire Horse. Maybe that's where you're supposed to be. Maybe that's exactly where you're supposed to be, because I'm just like, I don't know. Like, oh my God. Yeah, I think I'm gonna be doing different stuffs. Yeah. Like, I hurt. Like, do you like, it's like a firm, tight, take your breath away type lung feeling. That's what I feel. It says, like, have confidence and believe, like, this probably is a good thing for you. Like, man, don't put yourself in a position. I think what I'm going to start doing is, like, I know Witchy Trista does like energy readings. She does her own readings. I I do readings. I do them different than her. I think she's freaking amazing. But this is the kind of stuff that I was doing, like, in my Reiki sessions. This is the kind of stuff I would do. So I would do the body scans and the energy checks. There you go. There you go. So you interpret it, whatever that's telling you to do, you do it. You do you. Like, I'm just like, don't put yourself in jeopardy, though. So I'm thinking about doing stuff like that. I think that what do you think, Iron? Like, should I be breaking things down, like do different things? Like, because I'm finding myself getting a little bit restless with what I'm doing. Like energy readings, like energy body scans. Um, um, I do. What's that called? Not pyrotechnic. Yeah, I feel the lung ache. I feel the lung ache. I feel the lung ache. So I scan the body. So I read things differently with Trista. She actually reads like very different than me. It's very different. It's freaking cool. Um, Not to like compare, because I'm getting bored. Like, to be honest, I'm getting bored doing reading. Like, I enjoy it, but it's I've just been doing a lot of it, and I really don't want to go back to doing interviews. 'cause that's a lot of work. Um, Once a month might be okay to do that sort of thing, but I was doing it for once a week, reading books. Like, yeah, it's like there's like this like I learned so much trying to heal myself, trying to like find out about me, like because there's still stuff about me I don't know, and I'm this age, and but through that process, I learned so much. Pyrotechnics, boom, no, we're not doing that. Um, it's not psychokinesis or telekinesis. It's the other one. So if you have a picture, so to speak, you have a picture. I don't necessarily have to see it, but if you want me to, like, I can get energy off of it. Like, oh my God, I did this a long time ago. I had people send me um, pictures and then I put them up on the screen and I would read them. Like, um, or an item. It doesn't have to be a picture, it can be an item. And I don't have to touch it, I can see it. And so I can like read the energy off of it. So, like, when my team, and I was doing paranormal investigations with my team and I was remote viewing, I would do that's kind of what I was doing because I was doing that um, from a distance. I was doing it with like locations, and I'm this is what was going on there. And like there'd be like different, it's like super weird how I see things. Um, like different timelines are going on and like different storylines are happening. um, and it's the craziest things. Healings, yeah, this is so like over my years of I'm not like it's technically the healer. The person that's getting healed is the healer and they're doing the healing work. All I'm doing is I'm being a mirror or going, oh, look, here's some stuff that you might not be aware of that you might want to look at. Um, Pictures of what? Pictures, they could be family pictures. So, like, I had this one lady and she gave me a picture and it was her parents. Like, she didn't tell me, and I don't like, I like to do my investigation, so to speak, cold. I don't want to know, like, if I'm doing an investigation somewhere, I don't want to know about it. Like, it's like me doing mediumship. So, I don't know the people, right? And I don't know the people on the other side. So what I'm doing is I'm playing charades. Like, this is what I'm seeing, this is what I'm feeling, this is what I think is going on. Um, and so I'm getting information and I'm like, is this correct? Is this correct? And that's kind of what I was doing with the investigations, and that's what I do with the pictures. So, in this circumstance, this example, it was her parents. And what I got from just the picture, looking at it, is I picked up the energy, what was going on around it. The parents at that point, it was really exciting. This is the person that took the picture. There was another person there. Actually, there was two other people at this location. It was around the holidays. It was somebody had just gotten a job. They just got like a new car, and they were, I think they were even on the verge of buying a house or getting their own place or something like that. And so that's the kind of like stuff that I do with pictures, or even old pictures, because I can tap into it. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of like the stuff I would do. That's channeling. So, like, I use Louise Hayes to do that exact sort of thing, iron. So, doing Reiki, I was basically scanning the people, um, or I wasn't even like putting my hands on them anymore. I was doing it like at a distance, and so I can do it at a distance. That's why I can feel your lungs and know what's going on. What was I going to say? I lost my train of thought. And so, um, pick things up, and I didn't get colors. I got stories, and how that story was settled in the body. So I got like I had epiphanies last night. uh, where did I write that down? I wrote it down. I wrote it down. I wrote it down. It's over there. Um, there's a way I was articulating this, but those are the things that need to be healed. It's, how do you call it? So here's a different way of putting negative energy in the body. It's not negative energy. What it actually is stress from our experiences. It's not just trauma. So it's that somatic energy. It's somatic energy that gets, it's stress that gets caught in the body that causes the dis-ease, right? And so when you deal with that energy and it releases from the body, like in somatic healing, and you get the energy release, that trapped energy is finally released, you your energy flows better, right? So your chi's flowing better. Your it's crazy. It's so crazy. So then I went into sound healing, and sound healing, I feel like, is this endless, like, I wish I had time to, like, get a lab and go, I need a team, and we're going to do this, and we're going to see if this works. Because I had this amazing, my first sound healing teacher was freaking amazing. And he was like Bill Nye the Science Guy. He had all these stations like set up with all these different like things to experience, and it was freaking amazing. And so it got my wheels turning, and I'm like, well, what if based on somebody's birth date, okay, so now we're tapping into this whole, because I'm into sacred geometry on top of it. So what happens when you're doing sound, right? Your water. And so if you've seen like Dr. Emoto's um, water experiments that show the sacred geometry from the sound, like you've seen these crystals, these frozen crystals of sacred geometry. So that is actually going on. Like that's, we are part of a matrix of sound and vibration and fractals, vibrating, right? We're fractals, vibrating fractals. That's what we are. So, like, and then yesterday, so like, there's all kinds of possibilities. So yesterday, I had this wild hair, and I'm like, I wonder if your blood type we are in the matrix. Yeah, I used to have a whole set. I had to sell them, unfortunately. I still have my tuning forks, but your blood type, hello, your blood type actually has a frequency in it, and it's so cool. Yes, you can ask a question. I've my pendulum, so and I don't know, man. I don't know about the virtual reality type game. Yeah, the water guy, it's Dr. Emoto. Um, Unfortunately, he passed away. Um, but this is like our whole universe is like this. It's not just it goes down. It's quantum. It's smaller than quantum, if you can think of that. It's universal, right? Our universe is made of fractal vibration, uh, fractals vibrating, right? Is It's all sacred geometry. It's like you look at how things are constructed, the golden ratio, and that's that's part of the sacred geometry. Um, like I was channeling Nikola Tesla for a long time. Right, right. I did I have a vibroacoustical sound healing table, and I'm gonna try this. I got like a casserole dish out, and I put water in it, and I put it on my um on my table, and it would um show it. Yeah, yeah. Our blood has a frequency. So, well, you have to think about it because it's the somatics, right? The somatics of the vibration show up as sacred geometry, right? So, um, we're made of water, right? We're 70% of water, so we're made up of the that sacred geometry. Like everything is made up of sacred geometry in the whole universe. Um, but anyways, I was tapped into Nikola Tesla for a long time, and he was constantly showing me sacred geometry and showing me all these different patterns and different. It's like, and we know that light has different frequencies, and so that's another healing modality. It's like you can use all these different. That's what we're made of, right? Light and vibration, and everything is sacred geometry, right? In nature. It's like I love this stuff. This is like the stuff I love. And I wish I had like a laboratory to like, can we do this? Is this like because um it was kind of interesting. I knew this person and I got a bit closer to them, and they're doing sound healing research. And it's just so fascinating to me. It's just so fascinating. It's like I feel like as like being psychic, and I think there's science yet to be discovered that can actually measure um perception. It would be actually perception because it would have to be equipment, like high tech equipment to like measure perception. Is that possible? I think if it's possible to think about it, it's possible to do it. Is it on your channel? like, I love this stuff because it's healing. Like, I've been introduced to like light, doing light therapy, sound, different sound therapy. Like, oh my gosh. So I know this technology, like this sound healing table that I have, is so clunky. It's too big. Um, it's like having, uh, it's like a massage table in a sense. This needs to like, it needs a redesign. It needs a redesign because this, when I was a client on the second sound healing teacher who, put this thing together for me, um, I had this experience where I felt like my soul was coming out of my body. And because I told him, like, I think it might have been my first time on the table. And I'm like, crank it up. Like, let's do this. Let's rock, man. I didn't know what to expect. And I had been doing, and I didn't tell him anything. And I didn't really tell him any intentions. And for my healing, because usually you set an intention when you're doing a healing session like that. And I'm just like, and spoken basically, I set the intention in my head to have that come to me. And so I had been working on my past lives and trying to resolve past line, cut ties, cut cords to my past lives. Like, I really couldn't do it at the time. Anyways, I was on this table and I was feeling like my soul was coming out my body. I was just rocking it. It was like the weirdest feeling. Um, I just felt like it was going to come right out the bottom of my feet. It was such a weird sensation. And at the end of the session, he's like, "Did you feel like your body was, like, your soul was coming out of your body?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Well, have you been doing past life work?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I was like, "Holy crap." You first noticed the three suns in your rear view mirror. I was like, "What?" Yeah, I have done, how they talk about the Alaskan um triangle and how there's like portals. There's definitely something going on there. And they talk about like the portals on the moon. I backside of the moon. There's stuff going on there. Um I'm sorry, I missed their question. I didn't see your question. Yeah, so I was seeing those things. Oh wow. Oh wow. So I don't know if you know who, like, Pat Price, the story of Pat Price, and he was a remote viewer. He ended up dead. Weird circumstances around his death. Like, he was gonna, like, kind of be a whistleblower in a sense, and he had all this information, and then all of a sudden, like, he ends up like, and like, all this information's gone. But before that, he was doing these remote viewing sessions where he was picking up that there were alien bases, right? Like, have you heard this? There's alien bases where there's humans and human like other beings uh, that are at the controllers inside these mountains. It's like the craziest thing, but it's not. It wasn't. This was the one that I'm thinking of is the one in Alaska, and then there are other ones that were done too, and many people have like seen these things and reported what they have gotten back. So it's just really interesting. So I kind of like tapped into that, and like I've seen like there's a lady that I don't know her name, but she kind of like followed his tracks, um, and his investigations, and she was a remote viewer, and so you can remote view back to what they've seen. That's really interesting. Same with the Collingwood, where I saw the sun dogs, is called the Georgian Triangle, definitely on a ley line point. Um, he was found in Las Vegas. He was found in Las Vegas. He was getting ready to like announce this, like I don't exactly remember, but he was like going to blow like reveal his findings. And like it's really weird because if I remember correctly, is his he was like his family wasn't even notified. And I think they cremated him. They disposed of his body very quickly, and they didn't like contact his family at all. Um, and it was done super quick within like I don't know, it was super quick. Um, 48 hours, 72 hours, and he was like the whole thing was like washed clean. It's like if you go and search about this online, you'll find it. Pat Price. So I have all this like research I did like on my family. It's crazy stuff. So like it's like tiptoe stuff. Like, is this real? Like my family, not necessarily my immediate family of origin, but my distant relatives is and I kind of really want to do this eventually. Maybe I will. It's just I just find it I think people find this very interesting. So I did my genealogy. Like, yeah, I had all these dead celebrities come to me. They basically like they knew I would do my genealogy. So I took it a step further. So I'm like, okay, I kind of knew this outline of like these conspiracy theories. And I, from the other side, doing all this research on myself, my grandmother's over here, and um, she's like, you need to look at this line, this family, like we're related to royalty. So I'm like, that's where I went. Okay, yeah, we're related. So what? So I don't know what I knew about these things. Okay, so like I found out that I was related to Disney, right? So I'm like, okay, all right. And then I kind of like I'm like going inching and inching further, and I'm like, okay, I'm related to most of these elite families, the Astors, the Vanderbilts, the Carnegie, the Morgan, etc. Right? So I'm like, okay. So like, and this is like related to like my great grandparents era type thing, and like where they were, and okay, so they're involved in their business was this shady crap. They're shady people, right? And my great grandfather was in communications, like um, he worked for Western Union. So there's stories about Western Union out there, and they were accused of like human trafficking. Right? But that was like in the 80s or something, and like and you have to kind of like look at like where my where my family was and what they were doing and what they were around at the time, like in history. And I did that, and it's just like, oh my god, like my family was so my great grandfather, he was around Disney like multiple times, like so like and I'm like, it's impossible. I'm like, I keep, and this is just my dad's side of the family. This has nothing to do with my mom's side of the family. This is just my dad's side of the family. And like, it's just like, boom, I'm like related to all these people and all this history is going on. And, some of the things I looked at was like the Operation Deep Freeze. And I'm related to like, I'm like, this guy's a dickhead. He's the one that he went to Antarctica, and this was, I think it was right after the Nazis had been there. And so, like, the U.S. wanted to stake claims there. And guess who was involved in that? There's like Walt Disney's involved in that. That's when he worked for the OSS. And like all these celebrities had worked for the OSS back then. And so, like, the Walt Disney, like, part of the war effort, or like these operations that he was involved in, they were doing support propaganda. So like how I'm seeing now, because I got more information since I was working on that and realized, and it makes sense, is what my great grandfather was doing. He was blackmailing people, kind of like Epstein was probably doing, right? You get them to do dirty things, offer them the dirty things. They were they you know they were dealing the drugs. They were operating like the dark web before there was a dark web. So they were doing this, right? So you're in communications, and you're in particular places like the Rose Bowl. um yeah, well, see what I'm like, apparently, like, the people on the other side keep telling me, well, your family was gypsies. Well, there was only one part of this family that was gypsies, and they were poor. And yeah, like, because they were poor doesn't mean that they should like use their family members to like make money. They started using like children because they realized children earned them more money than the female prostitutes. This was what was going on. And so there's more. It's like they started getting involved because like they were rubbing elbows with these people. Like, I got pictures of my grandparents and my grandmother at the Brown Derby in LA. They used to live down there. They, my great grandfather, he had a press pass, so he's at these big deals. He's like at the United Nations in 1945 in San Francisco, and that's when they lived in LA. And so what's going on there? You got, yeah, it's a whole operating system. So what's he doing there? He's not just doing his day job. he's like he's doing his nighttime job. So he's watching people, like, and if you're in control, like, back then you're getting telegrams in and out, right? And who's reading those telegrams? the people that are receiving them, he was part of that system too. So he knew dirt on stuff, right? He's in the know. Like, you kind of like have to understand things. Like, um, I'm pretty sure I need to go back and confirm these things because I have to turn my husband's side of the family off. So like it doesn't pick up his family, it's just my family. Um, because we cross lines a lot. Like we share some distant cousins. So I think I'm related to Jolly West. So if you know who Jolly West was, he's the dude that was over in the Bay Area, which I that's where my parents met. And my parents met in 1968 in San Francisco. Like, and all this stuff was going on with MK Ultra. And so like they had ties to all this stuff. And so I had someone, I think it was Deborah Zachow, and she had a show that she was doing with this other girl. And I had come in and asked if my great grandfather had been part of um, a 3-letter. I asked if he was part of the CIA. He said the FBI. And then I just found out that freaking Walt Disney was part of the FBI. So, and before that, I had found out they were working together. They were like doing things. And what I think they were doing is they were somehow hoodwinking people, and like I I feel like it's like a mass, like, but it felt like it's a mass brainwashing and manipulation going on. It's really weird, like people drinking Kool-Aid or something. But this was way back in 39 of what I'm talking about. Turning a blind eye to the indiscretions and corruption. And you scratch my back, I'll scratch your back. And then the deviance is an offshoot of that. Well, it goes deeper than that because what was going on is it's like Epstein, like like he had surveillance set up in his houses, on the island, wherever he was, in all these places. What was he using that for? He was using that as blackmail, right? Why do we have the files? Blackmail files, right? The FBI hasn't, like, this is, they're holding back their investigation. They're just giving us like raw materials. So my great grandfather and family, they're doing all this crap. So they're putting this like product, this deviant, so they know what's going on, right? They know, and they can use that as blackmail information, right? They can blackmail people for money, whatever they wanted to get out of these people. So that was part of their con. This is my family's con. They're part of that. And it goes into like how the general public became part of that. It goes further, right? Because they were doing it in groups. Like I was saying, like the OSS, like you got all these people involved in these operations. Like just San Francisco alone. Right? So that's like, there's some crazy stuff, and they're all like, they turned out to be like related. I'm like, wait a second, this person's related to this person. I'm related to all these people. Like, all of them. Like, here, like one of the most interesting stories, like that I was looking at from my perspective, in my genealogy line going, wow, this is really interesting. So, and like researching these people a little bit deeper. So, the Grateful Dead guy, they call him the chemist, Bear. If you know who I'm talking about, this guy's my cousin, right? And he's the dude. He wasn't just a sound engineer, okay, for the Grateful Dead. He was the chemist for all the LSD. Yeah, there's like, well, I'm sure Trump's got something on Putin, like back. It's just, and that's like this whole, it's ick. It's a cesspool of crap. Um, but this dude, like, I went back further. This dude's like super interesting, and like looking at like locations. Like this dude was like freaking like he was freaky genius type stuff. Like he was um he was in some branch of the military, and they had gotten a hold of like some sort of warhead, and they were engineering it, and he was like an engineer reverse engineering this. He like like you go look at his history and what he did, it was just like, oh my god. um he was in the ballet. He became a, yeah, Sonella. We can get back to this. So I really kind of want to go in, and I got so much of this stuff, but his dad was in the Navy, okay? And his granddad was um, a governor. And they all had met in Colorado. Just so happens that my family is from Colorado. And it was over, they were meeting in Colorado, and it was over um, water like transportation over the water, and who controlled like the ports and boundaries and territories, Canada and the United States. It was like super interesting stuff I went into. Okay, what does Sanel need to know? What is coming towards her? Yeah, it is everywhere. Well, um, our stuff, like, yeah, I went back too. Okay. So now, what is coming towards her? I feel like you need to take time out. Excuse me. Yeah, you need to take time out. Okay, so I got that you need to pause for a minute, because I'm getting you need to sit and pray over there's a situation or situations that are happening, and you need to take a pause, and you need to recover, and you need to pray for healing. Okay, and because you're regaining strength to have confidence. So you really need to pause and reframe things, because then you really do need to slow down, because then you got the stress management card. And so this is basically saying you need to do self-care right now, and regain your strength mentally, emotionally, so that you have the composure and confidence to move forward, um, and move forward with purpose. Thank you. So now I hope that helps you. Yeah. Wow. There's like some crazy stuff that, so I went back to, I don't know if you're there, Aaron, or anybody else. I went, you're welcome. Yeah, but this goes back. This doesn't just go back to the 1900s. This goes back. Like, this isn't just like, this is, so I investigated my past lives, okay? And like, so this is my soul family. These dirty people, these dirty souls, these dirty rats. It's my soul family. And we've spent multiple lifetimes together, and were basically replaying the same roles over and over again. And same kind of situations going on, the same sort of blackmail and nasty stuff going on. Um, uh, so it's not a new theme, but so I went back generations in my genealogy and going, and I traced, like, if you look at the Astors, for example, like what was really going on? What were these guys doing? Because what I studied was there's this traffic routes. So I'm like, because I'm thinking human trafficking, right? So I went back to like the 1600s. So I got this weird hit that I needed to look at freaking the Goonies. And so in the Goonies, there's the ship. Okay, the ship was right, Astoria. Astoria was named after the Astors. But there's so much, like, this, just that one, like, branch right there is like so much to, like, so much history there. And because Astor was named many times over throughout the United States and elsewhere. But what I'm getting to is the ship that, because there's a ship that was called the beeswax ship. So all the ship, like, shipwrecked apparently in the 1600s, and all this beeswax was all over. And they used the beeswax. This beeswax was used for candle making. For, yeah, I said dirty rat. They're a bunch of dirty rats. They are. They are. What was I saying? The beeswax was used for the candles in the Catholic churches, right? And so that's connected to the Spanish. So the Spanish that inhabited, Mexico and all over, right? Like part of Florida. And so the ship, so I traced the ship back to the Philippines, and all these different things going on. And that's where they built these galleons. And then I went back further. So there was royalty involved, right? These Spanish royalty. And then it involved the other royals. It was just a really interesting trip. But so that was the Astors. And the Astors were known for what? Fur trading. But I suspect that they were doing more than fur trading. I feel that they were probably doing human smuggling. So I did a lot of research around the 1787. Because I got this weird date that was given to me, 1787. This is when they were writing the Constitution. So apparently my great grandmother was in that lifetime with me. She was a witch. And she was doing this dirty stuff back then. Like, Who's there? Ben Franklin, George Washington. Like, we got, I really didn't go into many of the others. I went into John Hancock. Yeah, I'm like related to a lot of royals too. So not just English, not just the British. I'm related to Scottish and Irish royalty too. So and even beyond that, Dutch. Like it's like there's so much to it. I'm related to freaking Martin Luther King Jr. It's like Elvis. It gets like crazy. Um, where was I? Yeah, so that was one of the lines that I went down. I worked for a bunch of Masons. So you're French. Okay. So I was following that line. So my great grandfather was a Mason. And so that's kind of where I was really heading with this when I started it. And then it turned into this massive like pursuit of like what the like I just kept pulling more stuff out, going, I'm like, it's all nasty. It's just a huge spider web of like a bunch of dirty rats. Um so it's just crazy because like all this stuff was like happening over here in the Bay Area, and it's like you kind of have to watch this hand's doing this, but the other one's doing this, and you kind of have to know like what's going on here, and it's like you really have to look at things from a bird's eye view to like get a really good picture of everything that was happening that these people were doing, and it's just insane. Um, like there's an ass. It's just crazy. It's like to put this together. I don't know. I don't know what that is. Interesting. What is that? Oh wow. Yeah. Um. Yeah. I went back. What's that other thing that because they were so inbred that they had the weird jaws. I forgot what that's called, but the royals that inbred so much that they had these genetic defects, and that's when they decided, oh well, maybe we need to start breeding with some people outside of our bloodline. Yeah, yeah, exactly. I forgot what that was called, but there was like some royalties that was really known for like their genetic defects. Um, so like there's like all kinds of crazy different rabbit holes I could have like went down. One of them was just like these routes that they took, these galleon ships and the asters like like were they like doing human trafficking and like going back to like 1787, that's where I was. John Hancock. So John Hancock was accused of human trafficking or human smuggling a couple times. Well, I believe that I know the reincarnation of John Hancock is in my family, and they're a human smuggler. Yeah, I forgot what the jaw thing was called. Habsburgs. That's what it is. Yes, the Habsburgs. So they were part of that dynasty. The Habsburgs. There's another name for it. The German Empire. That's what it became, right? I think. Yeah. The Habsburgs' jaw. Yeah. Royal inbreeding. So they wanted to keep their line. Hi, Jean. How are you? Yeah. So this, as they say, right? I didn't go into this, but this is what I've heard. The royals were part of the uh, divine bloodline. Yeah, the Jay Leno jaw. Um, so going back. Um, that's kind of where I'm just like, I've had enough. We've had enough. I'm doing okay, thanks. So it's just really like some really interesting stuff I came across. But that dude, that freaking chemist dude from the Grateful Dead, like, oh my god. So like these, yeah, royal incest, yeah, and it's like I kept looking at these lines of it was just really freaking weird how these things were coming up. Um, it seemed like these very powerful men were dating like or marrying these women from this bloodline. That's what it looked like in doing my genealogy. Maybe it just is just the perspective I was looking at it from. Um, I don't have any objective people looking at my stuff. Yeah, we're yeah, we were going into the shady stuff, the shysters, the blackmailers, the cons that my family is part of, or so I think, and that's what I've gotten from them in my investigation. That's a crazy investigation. It's just I'm still getting information from it. It's crazy. Um, now these people are like they were like Jeffrey Epstein, except they didn't have the money, so they were doing yeah. So it's generational. Yeah, it's generational. It's because they were using children in these prostitution rings, which is even younger than what Epstein was doing. And so when you're working with that kind of material, you're going to get icky stuff. You're going to get conned. You're going to get swindled. Like that's what my family was doing. Like until I said, no, we're not doing this no more. Like, well, there's other victims, but that's you know, part of my family history. So, uh, but I'm different from them. And so I'm the black sheep. Yeah, I tried to break. Yeah, they worship. Yeah. So I got that I was taken to rituals. Um so I had so much trauma that I don't remember a lot between 3 and 8. And because I suppressed it because it was traumatic. And so in my personal investigation, I found out um, I was taken to a couple of these um, in, rituals, which were connected to these things. No, I want to, Jean. It's part. There's stuff in there. No, they drugged me. They gave me alcohol. They used fear and torture, of, violence. They they used dark magic. They used hypnosis so that I wouldn't. I recall being isolated with my great grandmother, and she was doing this sort of thing to me. Um, and she was at the helm of this with my great grandfather. Um, and they were rubbing alcohol. They were rubbing elbows with people like rock stars, movie stars, um, probably politicians, people with power. I know this, Gene. I've been working on this for quite some time now. Um, so, and I'm well aware. I have so much of it that I know without having those memories. I did get some in my search for it. It's, I'm in a situation where I'm like, um, I'm healing, but I still want my personal validation, my sense to know, my confirmation of this. This is like compounded abuse to mess with somebody's mind so much. I mean, like, like even after 8, like there's so much more like that I was dealing with that I had to, you know, reconcile. No, 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 Gene, no, no. Why? Why would somebody that dirty, that corrupt, be willing to confess their sins? No. it's just it's just not gonna happen. There's like it's most of like my family's dead. There are some people that I believe that were involved, according to my investigation, that would confess behind closed doors, but it would only be directly to me. What evidence this happened like over almost 50 years ago? Like, I I'm not going to get justice. I'm not going to get confessions from any of them, really. Um, and the only way I can get that validation is through me remembering. And so, what I'm actually going through right now is uh, being forged, like the phoenix rising from the ashes, sort of thing. Um, so I have the somatic issues going on that I've suppressed all of this and it's in my body. So what's happening? I am getting sick. So, and I very strongly believe the body keeps the score. So what's happening, because I was treated like that for so long, I ended up making friends and having relationships with people that were oppressive like that. So as soon as I started getting away from that, because I disassociated from my pain, even my physical pain, my emotional pain, obviously my memories of it. Um, so when you start coming down from like, and you start feeling safe when you're not being oppressed by somebody, yeah, no, 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 no. I like I was focused on my personal experiences, and so there was gaps and stuff. So I try to get my own personal records, and that's like seriously something our country really needs to. I got issues with some record keeping. So I try to get my school records. So because my mom kept referring, like, I got all this help from my third grade teacher, right? And so we were living in Rockland, and like, and then we moved to Fresno, and I was able to get my records from Fresno, Sacramento County, or whatever, Placer County, or whatever county that is. They didn't keep records. It was only 5 years after a student leaves their school district. So I'm like 40 years plus. They don't have my school records, but Fresno did. So I'm looking at Fresno, my records, and I entered the school district because my mom didn't like ever like verify, like, you know, I should have had two third grade teachers, because when I entered school in Fresno, it was the end of January. Like, I was not in school. I was not in school. So like I have like some memories of things happening. Yeah. And see, like all these guys or people, these people that are doing all this involved in this corrupt stuff and these lifestyles, whether you have money or not, they're covering each other's asses, okay? And they're hiding shit. You're gonna, like, you know, so at this point, there's no going after anybody else, right? At this point, it's about me healing me, okay, and my story and how I recovered, and the things I did to recover from it, the things I learned along the way. So, um, the gold in it, the gold in this whole process. It wasn't just California, Gene. It wasn't just California. It's everywhere. Like if you go back in history, like you go back, it was in Canada. They were doing MK Ultra in Canada, and in Canada they actually paid restitution to some of the victims that were part of the MK Ultra. Then, like I went back because they were doing back in the 1920s. I believe it was like the 1920s. This was like it might have been like pre OSS. They were doing tests back. There's a there was a park and they were doing tests there. Um, and this was like way before they did MK Ultra out here in California. Yeah, it's not just here. It's not just in California. It's everywhere. Like like my great grandparents, like they lived in LA, they lived in San Francisco, they lived in South Seattle, they lived in Colorado, and New Jersey. So um, it's just it's everywhere. It's just everywhere. Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. Um, yeah, I just wonder about Antarctica. You know, that's why I was looking at all these transportation routes, especially with boats, and it wasn't just furs and it wasn't just spices. You know, this was a spice route, right? And I believe that my personal opinion, they were smuggling people and trading people, um, for some of these purposes way back then. It's yeah. So, you know, through my because I've looked at a lot of things through different lenses and I've tried to um with the expanded story through through my healing process and learning different things about it. I have a lot to talk about and and uh and share with people because I think people become more psychic. They become more. Um, I mean, my end goal here is that I want to change society for the better. It's like we're still going to have this kind of element, but uh, you know, there's this whole like moving into the 5D and we're making this huge shift. I mean, it's part of the collective right now. People are shedding some old stuff still and we're moving out of that, right? We're moving into this other timeline. And so there's this real big opportunity for taking on a new foundation and how we as a society, you know, teach our kids because like I went into like, okay, well, all of these freaking schools were created, right? And this was, you know, you got to look at where the money came from. It was British, it was French, you know, you got all these countries involved in like, you know, the United States, you know, at various times throughout history, you know, it's, there's just so much. But what I'm trying to get at is you change the single human being, you change another human being. We become more psychic, okay? And I believe that at one point, maybe many different points in the billion years that we've been on this planet, is that humans or human like beings that lived here had higher intelligence. We communicated much differently. We were able to uh, live telepathically. Um, and I look at Lemuria as or Atlantis, and that's the type of civilization that they had where you can't get away with shit if you can read somebody's mind and energy. You these people aren't going to get away with crap, right? So that's kind of like, but do you want people knowing your crap? Are you going to like live differently? You know, that's like individual and collective decisions that need to be made. You know, do we want this to continue? So, um, if I, but then you know you get that whole like straddling a line of cult. You know, is this a cult thinking and like Um, is it oppressive because, you're asking other people to live this way, or, it, and then you're getting, I don't even know what this is called. It's cultish. It's very cultish, or, the I think of, when I was little, my parents told us not to act too intelligent or stand out too much in school because the government might take us. Yeah. Well, back then, I don't know what era you lived or grew up in, but you know, it's just really weird because like the stuff that I was like going down in this whole huge rabbit hole is like I came out of it and I started looking around. I tried to like keep my blinders on. It was really hard to keep those blinders on when I was doing my personal research, and then I started going, okay, this is what I found in my family, and they were like, this is matching up to all these conspiracy theories. I'm just like, I can't believe it. The Northwest. Yeah, I was born in Seattle, so I was only there 2 weeks before we came here. I got these weird stories, and it's like, well, that makes sense now because I kept hearing the story, like these bikers brought me a stuffed animal, and after I was born, I was like, bikers? What do you mean? Why were bikers bringing me a stuffed animal? I did some remote viewing back then, and I'm like, there was some magic being done back then. It wasn't good magic. Um, Bikers, like, okay. Now it makes a lot of sense after doing some of this history. Um, there's a lot of shady stuff going on. Like, I think I need to. I'm being urged to like look at my. I really don't want to. It's just I don't need to go down this rabbit hole for a while because I got other stuff to do. But everything that I learned from this, and through my healing, is now what I'm supposed to teach people. It's not like um, it's a healing aspect of it. It's you know um, and there's some things that we can never heal. I'm never going to get justice, and I'm not the only one. And there's this is still happening to kids. That's like part of the point here. This is still happening to kids. Where is it happening? Right? In my first book, I really kind of go over this in the preface. These wild numbers that they're putting out about child SA is very inaccurate because this does not include all of the unreported, the suppressed memories of these victims like myself, because this didn't come up until I was about 50. And it's not uncommon for this to happen. Yeah, it's still happening. It is still happening, and it is everywhere. Um, these numbers are wildly inaccurate because a lot of the abuse is being done by family members. A lot of the trafficking is being done by family members. whether it's the parents, the grandparents, great grandparents, aunts, uncles, and it may be generational, like my family. Um, and it's just all this trauma about like, and then we've got this whole like, don't even get me started. This is like where I just want to put my foot down and go, like, make the world stop spinning, because I'm really sick of how, because this is a lot of what we're seeing in society now is kind of like the crap that was being introduced through bigger channels, radio, television. Now we got 24/7 um, news and media, internet access, communications, right? Uh, Phones to like, if you have your own channel and you're a creator. So I'm seeing this, and it's we've got all this clickbait. That's just one aspect of it, and then we've got all of this. There's an essence of real strong essence of drama, like uh, drama being created to cause a stir. Everything's like, oh, like, and like all these judgments being passed around and all this negativity. And it's not just politics. It's just really bizarre to watch, like being a creator and going like, oh, okay, what this person is this person like calling, like trying to like get a rise out of me. Why, like, and then I had to step back and go, this is a type of way to promote their channel by creating drama. And I'm like, this is not what I'm about. And I have to have my integrity. I try to keep myself in check. I don't always. But I'm just like, wow, this is incredible. So these, and it's like everybody's being put under this microscope and being judged one way or another. Whether it's true or false, it's being put out there. And to be sensational, to get clicks, to get viewers, to get subscribers. And, yeah, peace and privacy. It's like you really have to learn how to filter out, like, this isn't healthy. I'm not going to do this. And then you see somebody doing this sort of thing, and it's just like, are you serious? I, so, it's just incredible. Like, some people that aren't creators can see this going on. Some don't see aspects of it like I've seen. Like, this is not my first rodeo. I've been online for like 20, almost 6 years. I've been online as a creator off and on. And there's clicks. There's there's like a psychology behind. I'm sure I know people are suffering from this, and they're like, I don't even know what it's called, but I wouldn't be surprised if people are getting therapy because of the competitive nature that they get caught up in, like having a YouTube channel. Like, by the way, thanks for the 500 subscribers. Like, slow and steady wins the race. I'm not, I'd rather put out content that I'm happy with, that speaks to my heart and soul, speaks to my knowledge, um, in my sphere. Um, Hi, Jazzy Bella. Than to be part of the drama, you know, to be part of that drama. Like, yeah, it is like it's narcissistic. It's, um, and I have to be honest. I had at times off and on, like, okay, I'm getting caught up in something. Like, wait, whoa, Julie, what's going on? Maybe you need to step back from this. And I've had to do that a few times. That's why. Um, yeah, and um, that was a personal journey for me. There's a lot to be said because I had to get over like my fear of public speaking and to be able to get up here and do anything. Like, I still can't fart in front of y'all, but give me give me time. Like, there's been a lot of personal growth through these experiences. Yeah, there's a lot, and it's really affecting people a lot. Like, I'm just like going like, my life is not just YouTube. Like, I certainly don't want to make this channel like the absolute focus of my entire life. Yeah, and that's true, Jean. Being the true light worker means altruistically helping others to find helping others to find their way back to the light. Yeah. I don't know. I might burp, like, you know, fart. I don't know. Yeah, it's, I'd rather be authentic, um, raw and real, like, um, it is a real gross competition. I'm like, I'm not, and it's like coming up in like my readings, and I'm like, why is this person talking about this in my reading? Like, I'm not competing with anybody. This is just a deal I'm doing, right? Because this is part of a bigger picture of who I am. Like, the stuff I do, this is just a part of that. This is one aspect. So I'm not competing. I'm observing what they're doing and their behavior, but you know, I'm not competing with them. If anything, I'm competing with myself because I got my own goals. Yeah. Um, so I went through many different perspectives of that, Gene. So um, I'm now morphing into the position where I know I'm going. I'm still not there, but I'm morphing into it. And so I understand that being a light worker, you can get paid to do this. You don't have to give yourself away for free. And a lot of us that come through this process are coming from, having been a people pleaser and morphing into somebody that's standing tall and having those boundaries. That's the whole process of coming, or like coming to stand into our power and doing it with grace, you know, and knowing our worth because of where we came from. Like my story, yeah, time it's there's I'm not even gonna call it energy exchange, but yes, value. There's value in what I offer people in my other work that I do that is not necessarily all online. Half of what I do, I don't do online. And I I'm trying to show people this is what I do, you know? And um my story is um proof in the pudding. I'm not there yet, but it's coming. So, here's you know, part of this whole YouTube thing or different platforms sort of thing, the competition there. What was I going to say? What was I going to say? There's enough out there, right? Nobody else on YouTube is me, right? I'm not like anybody else. I don't want to be like what I have to offer people is me and what I know. And I'm cool with that because of everything that I've learned it's been hard earned, and to share that with other people through my lens. Yeah, everybody has a story, and it's like, why are you like just be yourself? Like, what's the hurry? Like, what? And sometimes I question, like, what the hell are you doing? Do you know what you're doing? I'm just like, what is going on here? I, what is the meaning and the purpose of you? I guess, I don't know if this is a phase for this person, but like, I just question, well, this isn't for me, really. This thing I'm seeing here, this isn't for me. Like, not might be for somebody else. Maybe somebody else needs that right now. Maybe this person that's doing this channel needs to have this experience to learn something. Yeah, they will. And I know that. Yeah. I've, you know, I've done my metamorphosis through many cycles of um, this, and I've seen a lot. And um, you know, the only person I want to be true to is me. And I don't need to go and start some drama with people to get them to subscribe to my channel. That's, or to get views or viewed hours. I don't need to do that. I have interesting stuff to talk about. Like, if you want to have a different opinion on it, great, great. We're here to just like learn, right? That's what this whole planet's for, right? Earth's to learn. It's a learning experience. Let me tell you. And there's stuff out there. Oh my God. Man, this has been a lot of fun. I'd rather have like structured stuff to talk about, and like I don't like spending time like, you know, writing an outline. So this is like a shared experience. I I sat here last and there is some really interesting shows out there. There's really interesting information. Like, I'm like, that is like that whole drama, nasty stuff that's going on. That's just one corner of this whole thing. There's actually really good stuff out there to watch. There's um where I'm actually like getting inspired. Yeah. I love doing stuff like this, and it's like, that's I was getting like really ugh, I'm just like, I'm always doing reading. Like, there's like more substance to me than like doing readings. Um, I I was sitting there honestly watching um Witchy Trista and Judy in the Skies on her channel, on Witchy Trista's channel last night. And I was I got inspired by something like sent me down a rabbit hole. And so I was like doing searches online, and I'm like, it helped me like figure some things out. I'm like, oh my God. Um, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And like it just like I'm using Chat GPT, and they're like, da, 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 da. I'm like, oh yeah. And it just like it wasn't new information. It was old information that was brought to me through this process. And I'm like, it for me to remember, for me, everything happens for a reason. Even this horrible shit that happened to me when I was a kid, it happened for a reason. And that was to get me to this spot so that I could go, okay, I need to recalibrate. I need to go back to, what I'm like, my intentions and my purpose are in this life again. And yeah, not everything about AI is good. I agree, Gene. Some of the people, unfortunately, are jealous of abilities that they don't have. That's something that they have. Yeah, I have been, for some god awful reason, surrounded by people that are jealous of me, and I'm just like, I can feel it like a rash on me. Uh, Jazzy, I'm kind of talking. Maybe come back Saturday because we're just chatting. You're getting me off my flow. Um, I was I was surrounded by jealous people, and I'm like, why are you freaking jealous of me? You have no idea who I am. Like, you have no idea who I am and what I go through. Why would you be jealous of me? It's like, stop it. And like, it's irritating to me. Like, don't be jealous of me. It's stupid. You want to live in my skin? Like, are you serious? Um, and you know, I get provoked sometimes by something emotionally, and I'm like, why am I feeling like this? And so I have to stand back and go, why am I feeling like this? Is it jealousy? And I have to ask myself, am I jealous of like what about this? Like, and most of the time it's like something like, this really rubs me wrong because this goes against the grain of what I stand for most of the time. Well, it's not just that, Gene. This is like this happened before I was even like in the psychic community. Like this happened like my sister-in-law is like jealous of me, and I'm just like, what was she like jealous of me for? It's like this is stupid. Like a friend was jealous of me, my mom was jealous of me. I'm just like, what's wrong with these people? And it's insecurity. These people are insecure. Like that's, what I learned through this process. So, a lot of my process was like patterns of behavior and how, and that's how it showed up. These jealous people in my life. But AI has to go through a lot of reiterations. Let's put it that way. But I use it. Yeah, they're insecure people. So I use AI as a sounding board, so to speak, and like to see things from a different perspective than my own. that's kind of how, like, you got to keep things in perspective. No, AI is not always right. And I'm always calling AI out on their BS. And they always have to apologize to me because I'm right and they're wrong. And I'm being funny here because I'm I'm wrong sometimes. um, I do call AI out when I know they're wrong. It's like, wait a second, slow your roll. Yeah, it's so crazy. I get that. I get that. They're insecure. Okay, they are insecure. Um, my multi-married sister has always been jealous of me and punished me constantly. It's so crazy. It's they're in so this is the deal. They're so insecure and they don't feel safe. So what are they doing? They it's you can call it punishment, but it's something else. What they're doing is they're being oppressive, right? They're being oppressive and they're being controlling and manipulative, right? And yeah, yeah, Dean, they are. Yeah. And I really don't care because there's other ways. There's like, it's not just AI. They're using the devices, they're using things that we don't even know about yet um, to get information about anything and everything. Um, yeah, satellites that can do amazing things. We don't really need boots on the ground or devices right here. Everyone's got one of these deals, you know, and they're using those. So it's like, unless you sleep in a Faraday and live in a Faraday cage, you're part of the whole thing. It's just a box. So yeah, this is kind of stuff I like. Like I watch a lot of you gotta watch you gotta like be selective and like even with me. So throwing the disclaimer out there, check your references. Check, fact check me. Like I'll be like, go ahead. I'm not right about everything. I have a different perspective. I see things different than you. We all have different fingerprints, and so it's just like a perception. You have your own perception of it. So I I watched some conspiracy interviews, and I was like, how can this viewer sit there and I know he knows like this guy's full of crap and he's like talking to him seriously and you can like the person being interviewed is like thinking like the interviewer is like on their side and the interviewer's going along with it to like let this person like do their thing. I did a lot of that. Yeah, you wouldn't get Wi-Fi in your van. Energy is always yeah. I so did I get my book out? No, no, I don't think I have that book out. I still haven't read that book. I need to read it. I got some books out these are some of my, like, when I was doing my podcast and I had to read books, like I'd have authors on my show, and I I'd be like, back in the day, I was um I stressed out about having guests on my podcast. Like, oh my god, I need to fill this month up. I need like podcast guests. And like, who am I gonna get? After a while, I had them coming to me. Like, I was so stressed out, and my son's like, "Don't stress about it. They're gonna come to you." And sure enough, they did. And I even had a flat earther on my show. So yeah, I like I had a flat earther on my show, okay? I'm just like, and I just was trying to be like, I didn't carry the same views, but I wasn't um forcing or even discussing my views on the show because it wasn't about me. It was about my guest. And it was like the craziest shit, man, that it was like, I'm gonna do this. It made me very nervous because um the guy that I had on my show, he was being a total twat to begin with. Like, he was trying to control everything. Like, no, this is not how I run this. If you want to come up, this is what we're doing. So I'm like letting the guy talk and share, and like most of this like interview is about him sharing this app and allowing him to have like the platform to share his beliefs on, right? And like the whole time I got his groupies in my chat, like sniping me. And then after the show, during the recording, that crap was going on in my comments on my show. And I'm like, I was like, so I've been through some crap. And like, to this day, that show has the most views on my channel. Like, so you kind of like have to put things in perspective. Like, even like something crazy like that, like, serves a purpose. Like, I was just like, and then I had this other podcaster I used to talk to. They used to do like cryptids and big, Bigfoot and psychic and paranormal stuff and conspiracy stuff. And so I talked to them, and they're like messaging me like, so how did it go? I go, or message back. I go, the world's still round, man. That was just funny. Like, so they like refused to have this person on their show. So I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna go with it. It was an experience. So I had different people on my show. I kept seeing this book being advertised on like Facebook. It kept coming up in my feed everywhere I look. It kept coming up, and I'm like, some bitch. Like, okay, maybe I like spirit's trying to tell me to get this book. And this is when I was looking for podcast guests. Really, my early days of podcasting, 2020. So I asked this guy to come to my show. I get his book, and a lot of times I would, I'd say third of the time I would get people to send me books signed free. And so I got this book, and this is like one of my favorite books because at the time I'm trying to like write this book, and like I didn't even have the whole information. I still don't have all the information, but I was like going through this process where I hired this editor. It was a writing coach. And I'm like, I can't write like this. And like, I was really fighting it. I was crying. I was fighting with the whole process. And I was like, I'm done with, after I got this book, I'm like, I'm done with this crap. it's like, it's like, I had already written a book, Master in the Making. And and I wanted to elevate my writing. I can't get with this program. I'm just like, no. So I have this guy on my podcast. I'm like reading this book, and then like I was about this far done with the book, and then I realized something about this book. Like, there's no chapters, there's no table of contents. And that wasn't a big deal to me. I was like, because I love this. This is one of my favorite books now. It's called 9 Days to Atlanta. And this kid, it's just a cool story. It's about it. It's I hope he does some more books. This gentleman was, when he was a kid, he had a friend, and this friend moved to Atlanta. And he's like, you know what I'm going to do? The author is Stephen Probst. I interviewed him on my podcast. A lot of fun. This book is about him taking this adventure, but it was also about, this is what I'm going to do. Okay. And what he had to go through in order, like, it was like a challenge to himself, a goal that he set for himself. He said, I'm going to do this. It's like sticking a flag in it, calling it his, like, so he lived in, I want to say Eastern Texas or the middle of Texas somewhere, right? And I forgot how he got this bicycle, and he rode this bicycle, and he had all these adventures. He rode his bicycle from Texas to Atlanta, Georgia in 9 days. And so this is his account of that. And so that in itself is like a super cool adventure, that he went through. It was like, he's this teenager kid that, did this like summer break. And so, I'm like, there's no rules here. He broke the rules. He broke the rules of self-publishing. Like, he got some help with those. He had some help with this. And like, this is really cool. This is the map. And then there's pages on here. There's no chapter breaks. Like, it's just straight on through. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to worry about all these writing rules, because when I wrote my first book, I sat down, and how I did this was my process. I'm like, and when I like was done writing, I didn't have chapter breaks either. And the editor I had to like format my book, the format editor, to be clear, it's like, where are you going to put the chapters? You need the table of contents. So I'm okay. Anyways, when I sat down to do this, I wanted to sound like I'm sitting like this. I'm sitting around a campfire with you, and I'm telling you the story. And so I would talk it out. I would dialogue it out. And then I wrote it down as I was saying it, as though I was telling you the story. And so that's how my book got written. And then like, I'm just like, I have to write a book now. And I'm just like, it's gonna be more uniform. But I had a lot of that was another thing, like this whole process of getting this writing coach was like, you need to read more. You need to read more. I mean, I even went to like the writers convention in San Francisco, and like, you know, they have editors there, they have representatives from this, that, and the other doing seminars and like talking about what needs to be done and how you got to do it. And it's all, it's a it's a big racket. So it's like self-publishing, there's something to be said for that. But regardless if you're getting a publisher or self-publishing, you have to do your own marketing no matter what. The publishing company doesn't do it for you. That's why you get an advance, and you have to put yourself out there. You got to go on other people's podcasts. You got to go whatever kind of advertising and publicity you can get to get yourself out there. And like, publishers don't even touch you if you don't have 100,000 followers. Now it's probably even more. And God forbid if you're not on X, like, because that's where they want you to have all these people and have access. It's just, but it's a racket. Anyways, I had a lot of healers on my show, and so this is a lady, Monique Rebel. This is Transcendence Calling. This is about her spontaneous Kundalini rising. That's what happens. This is her artwork. She's an artist. This is somebody I hung out with in Reno, Nevada. She lived there. She's got this beautiful property. I love seeing, she's got like horses coming to her property. She's got a pond. She's got all kinds of wildlife around. It's just amazing. I miss the place. But she wrote this book, and this was about her experience with a Kundalini awakening. And this was really interesting. She's written, I think, at least one book. She does courses too, and explaining her perspective on that. And this one, I just adore. This is Heart Flame Healing by Karen Anana, and she has her own modality. I think it's time for me to go, but yeah, this kind of stuff, I don't know, probably can't show this on, God forbid. So this is her take on the chakras here. And so when she works on a chakra, she'll only work on one part. She won't work on both parts. She will only work on one, the front or the back, and whatever she's led to do, what needs to be done at the time. And so this was a real interest, because I had done some healing with her, and this was a real interesting experience to have too. Okay. Yes, wild horses. Yeah, so we'll have to do this again sometime. Do you recommend any time that I should do this that's not conflicting with another show? Maybe because I'm thinking about doing these earlier so that I can have the evening to myself. Yeah, it's like these like wild horses. I like the first time I was in Virginia City. I'm like, what are the horse? Why? And they're like, no, these are wild horses. I'm like, whoa. And then she's got this property. It's I live in South Reno. She lives further south, and Virginia City is even further. But there's Washoe Lake, and if you're going down, I don't know what the freeway name is, but if you're going past Washoe Lake, there's wild horses that will gather alongside the freeway, and it's just freaking amazing. Like, oh, what do you call them? A herd? I think it's called something else. But all these wild horses are over there because of the water and the grass. It's super windy out there. But anyways, maybe I will be doing these. Do you guys have ideas like topics to talk about? Like, I'll go down some rabbit hole because I find like that dude there is freaking interesting, and how it connects. It's just weird stuff. It's like things that make you go, what? Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate all of you. Hope you come back and get entertained at least. Have a good time, get inspired by something I say. Um, all right. So here's another book I got to read. The Magdalene Manuscript, The Alchemies of Horus and the Sex Magic of Isis. This is channeled material. So, anyways, y'all have a good night and a good morning. And I'll see you on Saturday. Good night. Yes, I gotta do this. Right. Exit.